I think that camera might be a little too high. I can never seem to get it correctly. Let me just the camera over. I think we might have it, although I think it's aiming too high towards the ceiling. 1 second, folks. Yeah, this is quite the interesting way to start this week's Sunday video update. That'll work. No, it won't. I'm too self-conscious about the camera angles. There we go. I think we got it right that time. There we go. How's it going, guys? My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jer Bear. This is a Sunday video update. Today's date is Sunday, October 23rd, 2022. We are a week away from Halloween, which is one of my most favorite times of the year. Dad is in the kitchen. Will be joining us shortly. We had a fantastic week. Hope you had a fantastic week as well. Chat log is open. If you're going to come in to say anything at all, you're going to be respectful. You're not going to be out of line, or I'll boot your ass. So come in and say hi, be respectful. We'll talk, have a good time. Here is my dad off camera. There he is. For some reason, my camera angle was off a little bit, and I had to adjust the camera. But anyway, guys. Oh, no. It was me. This camera, Dad. The webcam on my camera. So I hope you've all been doing well. We're going to talk about yesterday because yesterday was pretty phenomenal. It was probably one of the more better days that we've had, because we've been going through so many other different things. But yesterday was fantastic. So last Sunday, I had mentioned something about how 12 years ago, my dad witnessed an accident in Owasso. And this, just yesterday, I was going to say this past Saturday. Well, that was yesterday. We actually got to meet the family after 12 years of the accident happening. And it was fantastic. I would much rather Dad tell you because Dad, it was more for you, though. This was a celebration of you and what you've done. But even yesterday when we were meeting with our friends, Dad wanted me to do all the talking. And it's like, Dad, I wasn't there. You were there. I wasn't there. You should be the one doing all the talking. But it was fantastic. And we had a wonderful time. The young lady who Dad sat with at the hospital, she came up and gave him just the biggest bear hug with both arms wrapped around him. And she smiled, and I didn't take a picture because I was getting lost in in that moment, because it's like, man, that is so awesome. It just warms my heart. But yesterday was fantastic. We have made plans for next spring and next summer. We're going to hang out, have barbecues, and we're going to get together and chill and talk about things. But yeah, yesterday was actually last week. I mean, between Sunday and yesterday, there were some not so good points of the week, but overall, generally speaking, it was a great week. It's one of the better weeks we've had in a long time. And I think after everything we've been through prior to this past week, we deserved a good week. And last week was phenomenal. We had an awesome week. So this week, I don't know what's going on this week. I think we're just going to be chilling out, hanging out, doing the usual thing. I had planned on cleaning my bedroom. Haven't got to that yet because for those of you who are friends with me on Facebook are also watching this. So hello. I didn't get started on my bedroom yet, but I am sure to be starting very soon. I'll probably start after, be a good winter project, but I want to get it cleaned up before winter because, I want to get my bed, what I want to do is I want to try to rearrange my bedroom. After I clean it, I can rearrange it, put my TV in a different spot, put my bed in a different spot, my clothes dressers in a different spot. So actually my initial plan with my bedroom was to turn it into a writing studio for my journals and poetry and to display all my autograph photos. But I have close to 400 autographs and I don't think I'd have the room to display all of them. There's just so much going on, so much to do. But last week and especially yesterday was phenomenal. I hope we have more weeks like this because we really deserve it. We really need the positive vibes and we just need to know that you know, somewhere out there, we're putting the good out into the world. We're getting it back. And, yeah, yeah, we're such horrible people, but we do so much for everybody else. And the thing is, when I say that, you know, like when we put good out into the world, we get it back. We don't expect anything good to come back to us, but we don't. Yeah, we're that kind of people. We're not trying to win a popularity contest. That's everybody else out there, and I think you know who I'm talking about. There's plenty of those types out there. That's not us. But it does feel good when people, you know, like they want to thank you. I mean, after 12 years, that's quite a long time to be looking for somebody and not having any luck. It was 2.5, the other one was 3 months. Yep, yep. The girl, the one child, because there were two kids. So the oldest, who's now 14, at the time she was only 2, and the middle child, who is now 12, was only 3 months. You said, yeah. So and now they've got a 10-year-old son. Yeah, and he's a football player. And he's not real talkative. Like if he doesn't know you, he doesn't talk to you, or he just kind of keeps to himself, which is fine. And his mom said that he does have autism. So that's part of that, but that's okay. Nope, never said it mattered, because it doesn't matter. He's still a fan. They're all fantastic. They're wonderful people. And we are just grateful for them too, because you know, we're just the kind of people, we put out good in the world, and if we see someone in need of help, we do what we can to help, if we can, because we may not always be able to do so. However, most of the time we do pretty good. Dad and I have been uptown already today. We've been to Family Dollar, we've been to Dollar General, we've been to Admiral Gas Station. And the Dollar General in Chesaning is looking fantastic. They actually closed the store. They closed operations for a few days because they were renovating, and it looks really nice in there now. The aisles are a few feet longer than originally, and they got a produce section, and they've got a whole row of just nothing but coolers, and they got like chicken and fish and pot pies, and they added a few feet. They got chicken and fish and pot pies and hot pockets and anything and everything you could think of. Whether you put it in the oven, microwave, cook it on the stove. Yeah, they've got it all now. And I think it's fantastic too, because I've noticed that they're relatively cheaper than Frank's Supermarket, because Frank's is expensive on a lot of their stuff. And I would have to say that there is that competition going on between Frank's Supermarket and the dollar stores, although the $2 stores are competing with one another. You've also got Frank's Supermarket, which is the main grocery store, but they are the most expensive store when it comes, you know, compared to the three between Frank's, Dollar General, and Family Dollar. It is the only big grocery store. Yeah, and it's more expensive. No. That's what I'm saying. It's the most expensive within the 3 stores. But it's got Frank's has its own shopping plaza. They call it Showboat Plaza, or at least they did. I don't know if they still do. But I like the new Family Dollar. I love how they've renovated, and they are still doing work. They're still renovating. But the aisles kind of seem wider too. I don't know. It's going to be great once we get done. Did the aisles get wider, or? Yeah. Well, I remember, because it seemed like the aisles were more narrow, but it seems like they've widened them a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. It just seems like it's the aisles got wider, a little bit wider, because before they were narrow when Jody worked there. But they have really cleaned up, and they're really doing a fantastic job. And they got a new cash register system now. They got a self scanner that they're setting up, which is nice. Yeah, they're hiring at Dollar General, I think. They're looking for positions. So for all of my local friends who are watching this, Chesaning, Oakley, Owasso, wherever, the Dollar General in Chesaning is hiring. But it is a nice store. It's getting better, I think. And I was approached by a young man today. His name is Alex, and he says, hey, I know you. And he came up and he shook my hand. I gave him a hug. I said, how you doing, Alex? He says, I'm doing okay. And it's like it made his day that he saw me again. Because I told him I'm from Chesaning. You're bound to see me or my dad or both of us at the same time. But it was just you know, and you never know how much of a positive impact you make on somebody, because you just, you know, like us, we just live our lives every day. We're not trying to be anything special. But when we see someone in need of help, we're there, or we at least try, you know. And with Dad actually witnessing the accident, he was the only, I guess you'd say, character witness.
I was the only one that saw.
Yeah.
But there was another guy in the way too.
Mm-hmm.
But they said, no, that's not him. That's him.
There were two Waynes and a
picture. A John, something like that.
A John or a Don?
Don.
Or a Ron, I don't know. I remember, but she didn't actually do a FOIA request. Because I asked her, I said, did you FOIA request a phone call? And she says, no. She says, because they work for Shiawassee County, or her and her husband now, because they're both EMTs, they work in Shiawassee County. Yeah. They're EMTs, I think, or something like that. But anyway, they're emergency personnel for Shiawassee County, and they went back through the archives. They went back through and dug up the old, you know, information, and it's amazing that they kept it. You know, they held on to it for all, you know, after all these years. Yeah, you should remember. You looked right at the camera.
Yeah, but I can't remember who did it.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So yeah, there's so much has been going on, and yesterday was a fantastic day.
I want them to call me a hero because I don't feel like a hero. I was there.
Yeah.
I was just there to help them.
Yeah, and you know, I call him a hero. I went on Facebook and called him a hero, and Dad's like, "Damn it, don't be calling me a fucking hero." Well, what you did was heroic, and you were the only one there, and that little girl obviously feels that you were like her. Yeah, you know, so it's something to be proud of. It's something to admire. But I was flipping back through an old journal because I wanted to see if I had written anything about that incident back in, you know, on October 13th of 2010. And I had to go all the way back to book 106. For those of you who don't know, I'm in book 131. I write journals, have been for going on 23 years now. I went back and I found the pages where I had written about this accident. And at the same time, I was writing down information about the Chilean miner rescue. If you guys remember back then when they were rescuing the Chilean miners, I'd written about all that. But I also saved the newspaper clipping from the Argus Press, which is located in Owasso. It's a newspaper office, and they actually had the picture of her vehicle. And I didn't take it with us because they've been traumatized enough, and I don't want them to, you know, I don't want to reopen the wounds that are trying to heal. Yeah, they're still having a hard time dealing with that, and there's a lot of things that the mother doesn't remember. We're not gonna mention names, but there's a lot of things that the mother doesn't remember, but the daughter does. And at the time, she was only 2 years old. Now she's 14, and it was just awesome yesterday. It was just fantastic, and it kind of brought tears to my eyes because it's like after all these years, 12 years, they've been looking for this guy, and they messaged me, or the mom messaged me last week because she was, you know, connecting dots, and she was, you know, getting the last names and stuff. And at first I was apprehensive because I thought it was another one of those, hey, did you hear about the government grants? Because I get those on occasion, and I happily and joyfully and gleefully tell those people to go fuck themselves. But this wasn't the case. I didn't tell anybody to go fuck themselves. In fact, we were having a fantastic visit. And I am so glad that she reached out to me, and I'm glad that we were able to make that happen. Yeah, she brought up the picture because there was a picture taken of Dad and the little girl, which she's not so little now, but when they were in the hospital, yeah. You're got her coloring books, and you were talking with her, and but yeah. And you know, I kind of feel out of place, me being, you know, doing all the talking, because you should be the one doing the talking. Even yesterday, you know, Dad wanted me to do all the talking, and it's like, God damn it, I wasn't there. You were. You should be doing all the talking. Um,
I don't know how many times he hugged me.
yeah, the mom hugged you, I think, 3 times.
Yeah, and the dad even he'd come up.
Yeah, the dad,
Hug me.
yeah, her husband had shaken Dad's hand and given him a hug. He even shook my hand and gave me a hug, which is cool. You know, I don't have a problem with that. It's a brother thing. But we did make plans to have barbecues and stuff next spring and summer, and I'm gonna make my taco salad. And
But she loves taco salad. Mom does.
yeah,
I love taco salad.
yeah, she hasn't had mine yet. But I do make just a mean taco salad. Something else had happened this past week. I was helping someone move to their new place in Saginaw area. And we didn't get home until 5 o'clock.
That morning?
Yeah.
But we got to move.
Yeah, we got most of the stuff moved. And it's not a bad location. Like Saginaw gets a bad rap for a lot of things, but where they're at, it's actually called Buena Vista Township, and it's the east part of, like, it's the eastern suburb of Saginaw. Like if you're east of I-75 or out, it's like out in the Outer Drive area and Cumberland and all those areas. For those of you who are familiar with that area, it's over by Next Tier Automotive. I think that's in Buena Vista Township. But we were helping someone move over there. We got most of the stuff moved. We didn't get home until 5 o'clock, and that was yesterday. That we left on Friday night.
Laid down and got right back up and did it again.
Yep, we left on Friday night. We started helping the people. Started helping the people pack. Then we were unloading at their new location, and we didn't get back home until 5 o'clock yesterday morning. And then we were lucky to get maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep and right up again. And then we went and met our friends, and I almost got hit by a fucking semi on Saturday morning when I was coming through Saginaw. I was coming down. Yeah. Yep. I was coming down M13, and if you're familiar with Saginaw, the east side, they're at Holland and Remington. It's the one-way streets. And, M13 traffic had the flashing yellow, and Holland and Remington, the one-ways, had the flashing red. I proceeded, and then a semi just blew through the red light. Now, if I would have been back seconds sooner, he would have hit me. And I just couldn't believe it. It's like, you stupid son of a bitch. Pay attention, I mean, it's in city limits. It's in Saginaw. And that trucker was flying, and I'm lucky I got through the intersection when I did, because he would have hit me. But it was a wild morning. And then, like I said, we got about maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Then we were right back up at it again. And, it was a fantastic Saturday, the whole week. I mean, there were some, trouble, moments in between, but most of the week overall was pretty good. It was pretty good. What's planned for this week? I have no idea. We never really make plans unless we know for sure that something's going to happen, but I don't think we have any plans this week. I'd have to look at the calendar. I think next week, during the first week of November, I think Amy has to be in Ann Arbor. But I'm not sure yet. So that'll be an upcoming road trip for me down to Ann Arbor, because Amy has to be at, I think, U of M, the hospital in Ann Arbor, something to do with dental work or something. I can't remember what she said. It escapes me, but she had an appointment in Ann Arbor. I think it's on November 2nd, if I remember correctly. So we're going to be in Ann Arbor. We're going to be in Wolverine territory for all my Michigan Wolverine fans out there watching this. And, it shocked me. I saw on Facebook where Kelly Ripa and her husband, Mark Consuelos, were in Ann Arbor at the Wolverines game. I didn't know they were Wolverine fans. As it turns out, Joaquin, their son, is into, I think he wore a shirt anyway. It said Wolverines Wrestling or something like that. I don't know if he's a member of the team or if he just is a fan. I don't know. But they were there. They were in Ann Arbor. I thought it was pretty fucking cool. Yeah, so that was pretty nifty because you don't see a lot of celebrity turnout, at least not every day. It's not hot, it's not Hollywood, it's not Los Angeles or anything like that. It's not even Detroit. It's Ann Arbor, which is just west of Detroit. Ann Arbor is just right down 94. But yeah, there's a lot that has happened lately, and most of it's been good. And as soon as Dad comes out, he might be able to help me talk about something else. He might be able to help me change the subject a little bit because I have officially already run out of things to talk about. How was your week, Dad?
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it goes without saying we had a pretty fantastic week, but I'm trying to
Other than that, it was all right.
I'm trying to find things to talk about because I still got, quite a bit of time to go. I've still got about 40 minutes.
Halloween's coming up.
Yeah, Halloween. I love Halloween. I love Halloween. Um, we were talking to our neighbors down the road. It's actually very warm outside. It's like 70 something degrees outside. And a lot of light. It's 70 something degrees outside, and it's windy, and there's people burning leaves, and it's like, just be careful, you don't want to get in trouble because when it's windy, the fires can get out of control. But it's usually when people aren't there to control them, and if they have too big of fires on a windy day, then it gets out of control. Then they have to call the fire department. But if it's just a little pile of leaves and they're standing right there and they can, put it out or whatever, then I don't see what the problem is. But um, it's it's a beautiful day. It's been beautiful since Friday, Saturday, and today, and I think tomorrow we're supposed to be in the 70s, and then after that it cools off. And they are talking snow, which it is the time of the year. It is the time of the year. It is October in Michigan. We're supposed to get this kind of weather. Um, so, and the Upper Peninsula got hit hard with accumulating snow. Uh, not in Iron Mountain. I think Marquette got the most of it. Marquette got the brunt of it. And I was in Marquette last month when I hung out at my friend's place in Iron Mountain, and they had taken me to Marquette because I'd never been to Marquette, and I wanted to see Marquette, wanted to check out Lake Superior. And I got to tell you, it's just, it was so beautiful up there. Now I bet it's even more beautiful with all the snow on the ground, although most people would probably disagree. They don't like snow. Um, and something else I noticed that most people don't like are clowns. I've discovered this on my Facebook page. They don't like circus clowns, or just, even if they're nice clowns, mean clowns, whatever, they are terrified of clowns. And with Halloween coming up, I can't help but wonder, how are the parents going to deal with this, because there's going to be a lot of people wearing clown costumes. You're going to run into people wearing clown costumes eventually. It's Halloween. Um, so, and I just think about that. I wonder, like, how the hell are they going to manage this? How are they going to pull this one off? Because they're not going to want to be around people dressed in clown costumes, but they're doing it for the kids. So I guess they're just going to have to suck it up, because you got to take your kids out, and the husbands may not be available. And yes, it's mainly women who are afraid of the clowns. I have yet to meet a man or a boy who's afraid of a clown. It's mainly the women, but I'm sure they have their reasons. Maybe they had a traumatic experience with a clown, or maybe they were scared by someone dressed in a clown costume, or they might have watched a scary movie with a clown in it, and it mortified them for the rest of their lives. I don't know. There's circumstances surrounding that. Um, but I don't know. There's going to be a lot of people dressed in clown costumes on Halloween. Halloween and Easter, I don't know. I think Halloween is probably my favorite holiday of the whole year. Even over Christmas, even over Thanksgiving, although I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, you can just eat and get fat and sleep, take a nap. Um, but I think Halloween takes the cake. I think Halloween is my favorite holiday, and then coming in second would be Easter, because Dad and I we have a history of Easter. When I was a kid, my dad used to dress up as the Easter bunny, and we used to dress up as the Easter bunny and the Easter bunny's assistant, that being me. And I posted some pictures on my Facebook. If you're friends with me on Facebook, they those pictures really bring back memories, and I remember those days very, very well. And yeah, so that's why Easter for me is probably my second favorite holiday, because of the awesome memories. But I like Halloween because, you know, candy. Who doesn't like candy? You can get candy on Easter too. I don't know. Maybe Easter is my first favorite holiday, and then Halloween comes in second. I don't know. I like them both. I want to say I like them both equally, but I think I like one more than the other. I just haven't figured it out yet. I'm indecisive on that, but yeah. So I hope you're all doing well, because Dad went outside for whatever reason. I don't know. I was hoping he would have hung out in here and stuck around so that way he could change the subject. Oh, there he is. He's coming back in. I was hoping you would have came back in, because I'm running out of things to talk about. Yeah, I know your hip's hurting you. I was hoping you would have stuck around to help me think of something else to talk about, because I have officially run out of things to say.
You run out of things to say?
It happens.
Wow.
It happens. It's no surprise. It's no big secret. That's not the first time I've run out of things to say during a Sunday video update.
Well, come on, people, call us or
How are they going to call? It's a live chat. It's not a call, Dad.
chat with us.
There's no phone number. There's no hotline.
Chat with us. Let us know how
Um,
your day's going.
Yeah.
Let us know how
There's
your
no-
day's going.
There's no hotline.
Or if anything exciting happened to you.
There's 2 people watching. Hello, 2 people. You rock. But I have a suspicion that, and even if 2 people are watching during the live stream and one of them or both of them happen to be trolls, I'm okay with that. It's viewership. YouTube loves the algorithms when people watch and they give my videos a thumbs up, and which I think I got a thumbs up. Oh, I hate squinting my eyes like that. Oh, I have no thumbs up.
Still trying to sell Dad's house.
Yeah, they lowered the price because they originally wanted 124.9, was it? They wanted 124.9, then they had to drop it. They had to lower it. So now it's at 119.9, still for sale. We've been trying to sell it, get it out from underneath of us. Hey, Scruffy. Because the dogs outside are barking. And those dogs are going to be history pretty fucking soon. I'm happy to say. I love dogs, but these ones have got to go. Man, that's bright. That dog, it's just annoying because the dogs bark at everything. They bark at the leaves. When the wind blows the leaves, they'll bark at the leaves. They bark at everything. The cats especially. But it gets annoying after a while. And they just bark and bark and bark and bark.
Cats keys them too.
Yeah.
Porch and they can see them.
And sometimes I'll watch the playback of a lot of my Sunday video updates, and I notice the videos are pixelated because of the internet. CenturyLink is terrible. My ISP is shit.
Don't never get it.
I'm paying this money for high speed internet, and it's not high speed. I had talked about it or mentioned it previously that I'm going to be switching up to a different ISP if CenturyLink doesn't get their shit together, and it appears as though that might be the case pretty soon. I might switch to something next year because it's already.
So if you're a new people and you're moving in Chesaning area, don't get.
And it's not just Chesaning. I mean, CenturyLink, they go.
Yeah.
It's not just Michigan. They serve other states as well, but
Don't get 'em.
CenturyLink is terrible. And I'm hoping I can find a better service. I know they're putting in the fiber optic internet in my area, but that's going to cost me a whole hell of a lot more.
Especially when they won't even honor their things without, because your computer going bad, or you haven't had it for so long, they still won't honor it, give you money off.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be doing away with CenturyLink pretty soon because the ISP is absolutely fucking terrible. And I've had to get irate with them I don't know how many times for just the internet going out. And that's why I always say if the internet, if there's an interruption in the Sunday video updates because the internet choked, and if it chokes or whatever, then I'll just call it a day and I'll see you next week. But CenturyLink is terrible. It's just absolutely fucking awful. And I'm not sure why they don't stand behind their products. They don't stand behind their services. But I will be switching up probably in 2023. And speaking of next year, I'm pissed about this one. I am absolutely fucking. I could pull somebody's hair out. We got that $400 refund check from the car insurance company. Okay. Now, because the state of Michigan, Governor Whitmer had sent out all of those refund checks, now the catastrophic claims fund is in a deficit, and they're raising our insurance by $122 beginning July of 2023. So thanks a lot, Whitmer. You fucked us again. And I'm not someone who votes. That might be something that I switch up.
But
I'm going to be voting.
it ain't always that. They want who they want in there, and that's it.
Well, although I don't really have a lot of faith in the voting system, but I don't know if I should decide to start voting now just because of something that the governor did. She did a colossal fuck up, but it's electoral, not electorial, electoral.
That's all it is, because it don't matter what you put on the thing. They put in there
On the thing, it's a ballot.
They put in there who they want.
He gets so worked up and talking that he doesn't have to say.
I would say, what about Trump back then? What about Trump in there? At least he was closing that border.
We're not talking about presidents. We're talking about governors.
Yeah, government.
No, governors. Slow down. They're not going to take it. But I'm talking about Governor Whitmer, how she fucked the state doing that.
Oh, that's just like unemployment.
And everybody thought, oh yeah, we're getting all this money. It's going to be great. And I can't lie. I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, $400. Okay. But now we're going to be stuck paying that back. But of course, I should have known as well that nothing is free in the world. Nothing is free in life. So you got to pay it back because the government kind of needs it back. What the fuck are they barking at?
Neighbors. They're neighbors over there, Jared.
Oh my God. That's what I'm saying. They just don't shut up.
Probably showing the house.
They do not shut up.
Yeah, they're showing the house over there.
I'm about ready to go out there.
I'll go out there and get them. I gotta go out the water.
Or I'll have you sit here for a minute and talk about,
No, I'm going there.
because I have officially run out of things to say. I don't like hitting a roadblock, especially when I see I talk about the situation that Governor Whitmer did, and he wants to go take it for, 5 steps ahead and talk about the president. I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about state government, not federal government. Whitmer really fucked things up this time. And I don't know if I should base my decision to vote again on that, or if I should just stick to my guns and say, yeah, fuck it, I'm not going to vote, because I haven't voted since 2004. So it's been almost 20 years. It's been about 18 years since I've voted. Yeah, because I voted when I turned 18. So it's been 18 years. I'm 36 now. So, man, that's a lot of light coming on that camera.
People are gone now. Yeah.
And even after they're gone, the dogs still bark. So I know for sure, at least I know for a fact, that we still got some work to do. We're helping them move, right? Or did you take that stuff out of my van?
No, I didn't take it out. Yeah, they're coming after it.
Okay. And that's fine with me.
Yeah,
that's fine with me. So yeah, we've been helping some people move, and yesterday that I'm stuck on yesterday because that was just
They were standing there waiting for us.
yeah, they
I
were.
couldn't believe it. That was them. I couldn't believe that was them girls.
They were actually standing there waiting for us. Well, they were waiting for you, not so much me. They were waiting for you. But I thought it was fantastic.
Come
But
right up and give me a hug too, the woman did.
they wanted to meet me too because she
Yeah.
messaged me on Facebook, and
They wanted to know who they're talking to.
yeah, they wanted to know if I was the right guy, if I was the right person they were speaking to. For some reason, this doesn't seem like I'm getting a lot of. It just seems like that microphone is a mile away. Maybe I should see if I can adjust that. Ah, fuck it. It ain't gonna matter. I tried, folks, unless I remove the pop filter. Now you can hear me without the pop filter. But you get the you get that pop. So I'll put my pop filter back up because that might be sound a little better. Unless it's just the mic itself. I don't know. That pop filter doesn't like to stay up. Okay. It just does not like to stay. It thinks it can move.
Hey, does anybody want to hear the joke?
About what?
Why do they call a roach clip a roach clip? Nobody knows, I'll tell you. Because potholders already been taken.
Well, they're not going to be able to call in like you think.
Potholders been taken.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to get this stupid thing to stay up, and it's a exercising futility, I guess, because it won't stay. So this week we're going to be helping. I think we're still going to be helping them. Yeah, and I did mention that. I think it's next week. Yeah. Amy has an appointment in Ann Arbor, so we're going to be in Ann Arbor. I might put together a short video and I don't know yet. Don't etch it in stone. I may or may not put together a video of Ann Arbor. Although I think I have before, just where I'm driving. We watched on the news just recently about a horrible accident in Ann Arbor. It happened, I think it was on M14. A car pulled out and they hit the car because I guess they weren't paying attention, and then it threw that car over into another. I think it was a flatbed. It was one of those car haulers where you put the car up on the ramp. Yeah, it was bad. Two are in critical condition and the other ones are all right. Yep. Damn. The other three were good. But man, that's horrible. That's what happens when people don't pay attention. Yeah, they don't pay attention, and then bad things happen, or they're just in a hurry all the time. And that's what I don't understand. Why are people in such a hurry all the time? Leave early. Yeah. Then you won't have to rush to get where you're going. And yeah, and then they're on their phones, not paying attention to what the fuck is going on in front of them. And then kaplooey, there's an accident. Someone's getting killed. Someone's getting sued. Someone's going to prison. Why? Because you can't put the phone down. You can't resist the fucking phone. Yeah, I don't know. It's all bullshit to me. I'm always careful when I'm on the road, regardless of what's going on around me or whatever. I'm just watching and paying attention. My both hands on the wheel, seatbelt's always on. I'm always checking my speed. And well, not always, because I do speed sometimes. Sometimes. Not I don't do it all the time, just sometimes. But not to the point where I'm causing an accident. I'm always mindful and careful of what I'm doing. But anyway, I hate running out of things to say when there's still 20 minutes left. What do I talk about for 20 minutes? What do I talk about for 20 minutes? Everything, and I will say this, everything in my life right now has been going pretty good. I haven't had any issues with anybody. Everything is good. Um, I stay on the down low most of the time because I don't need everybody knowing my business, which is why I don't get into specifics here on the Sunday video update, because I know there's still people who are watching. If the very minute I mention a name, they're going to run back and try to warn people about me, and it's like, what are you warning them about? What exactly are you warning them about? A lie? Well, congratulations. So you're a fucking liar. Why don't you go prove that to somebody else? You know? But that's why I never give specific names. Like I don't want to give names. I don't give a lot of detail. It's not because I'm hiding something. It's just that I don't need for the people who are here watching this waiting for me to slip up and give a name to run back and just to say something that's not true and scaring the hell out of the people that there's over a lie. There's nothing to be afraid of. But people love to lie. It's gotten way out of hand, with in that regard, where it's gotten personal. They don't have to like the fact that you have differing opinions and like or awareness. I stopped following the script that they all go by, and I quit bowing down and genuflecting to certain individuals just because they're doing all these things that they think they're so deserving of admiration and pats on the back, and they should be, lionized and treated like they're something special. They found out that they are not, and I think that's why they hate me so much, or at least they come at me with some bullshit, because they know I will call them out through and through, and I'm not afraid to do so. I've done it before. I'll keep doing it. Just like there are some people, yes, there are some people that the parents, just because they're parents, well, they're off limits. Well, nobody's off fucking limits. If you're going to be stupid, I'm going to call you out. And I'm going to point out the flaw, and I'm going to ask you why you would believe something for no good reason. And why are you going by the consensus of people? Because all those people can be just as equally wrong about something. That's why I always say, show some evidence, show some proof. You're making a claim or you hear a claim. I want you to be able to show some evidence that would corroborate with the claim. If you can't do that, then you're just believing shit for no good reason. And if I were you, I'd be embarrassed. But they're not. Well, this is what everybody's saying. Well, good for them. I don't give a fuck what everybody else is saying. Show some proof, which I have not yet seen. And I haven't talked about this in a while, but hey, time's a ticking. Dad hasn't seen any. There's no evidence of wrongdoing anywhere. I haven't seen it. No one can turn anything up. So why are you believing things without proof? Can't do it. Unless you're just a liar and you want people to think something horrible, but I don't know. It's not my problem. Not my problem. And that's why, like I said, I don't give specifics. I don't give names. I don't give any information that would cue anybody in or clue anybody in on who do we look for? Who are we gonna, who are we gonna lie to get them to turn on, to turn on Jared? Well, that's not happening anymore. Nope. So, but everything is fantastic. My life is great right now, although we do have our moments still. We have our moments where we reflect on things that have happened, and we go through the motions. And yep. Dad had a little meltdown the other day. He was thinking about Grandpa, and I kind of get emotional, especially at night. That's when I get the most emotional, because it's like I made it through another day. And yeah, I know it's weird not having Grandpa around anymore. Like, especially at night too, No, I mean, it's just at night when the emotions come out, because it's like I made it through another day, and a lot of other people haven't, and it's like it kind of gets lonely sometimes when you don't have people around that they were always happy to see you. They wanted to hear from you. They would call you, like Dad says, they call you, or we go over and see them.
Oh, the only one that comes over and sees me is my Uncle Mark.
And
One of my uncles. He's the only one that ever did come over and see me.
yeah. There's just so many of the family that's dying off. Like all my mom's brothers and sisters are gone. My mom is the last out of all of the kids on her side of the family. Both of her parents are gone. Most all the Perkins are gone. Like my dad's aunts and uncles are gone. All but two, Mark and Joanne on the Perkins side, and then Aunt Barb on the Fuller side. That's it. Because Grandpa's gone, Ellen's gone, Don's gone, Earl's gone. So everybody's gone. And then I don't know on the Giroux side, which would be my Grandpa Fuller's mom's side of the family. I don't know the entire Giroux family, but I know there are. We got cousins, and I think we still got a couple of aunts and uncles. But it's just the idea that people are leaving. They're dying off, and it sucks. And I had written something on Facebook about death being the ultimate cheat, because like when it comes to children and babies and infants and toddlers and preteens and young teens and young adults dying when they have their whole lives ahead of them, they've been cheated out of the longevity of their lives. And the people who were, like the progenitors and relatives and such, or even friends, they've been cheated out of watching them grow and to become something. So death is, in some regard, it's a big cheat, because you don't get to see them grow, and they will never have that experience because they're dead. They're never going to know. They're never going to have that experience. And it's bad. And we were at Family Dollar today, and I was talking with one of the employees. She's originally from Alabama. She's got that Southern twang. I love it. But we were talking about life and death, and she's going to be 30 in December. And we were talking about life and death, and she says, we all got to die someday. I said, yeah, that's true. We all got to go sometime. I don't want it to be anytime soon. I said, but I've learned to cope with it. I've learned to accept the fact that, yes, I'm going to die someday. There's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm at peace with knowing that I'm not going to live forever. I don't think I'd want to live forever, but I'll be damned if I'm going to spend or, waste my life worrying about something that I'm not going to control anyway. Because if I worry so much about death, I'm not living. I might as well be dead. And I think I mentioned that in one of my prior videos. And I think that's the thing to remember. The fact that I know I'm going to die just makes me want to live more. And Neil deGrasse Tyson, somebody that I absolutely love. He is an awesome guy. He's an astrophysicist, but he's got some wonderful philosophy. And that's one of his philosophies. He says, I don't fear death. He says, I fear living a life where I feel that I could have made a big win or a big score for humanity and didn't. Which also makes sense. But I think for me, it's just, I got to live every day and try to live the best life I can, because this can end at any time. And it will end eventually. But I can't be afraid of it. I just can't. I mean, nobody wants to die, but we do. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to die. It's what we all do. Murder's not okay, but death, if you're dying on your own, if you're going to let nature run its course, yeah, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I wake up every day. I wake up grateful. I look at my battle scars, and I just kind of give myself a nod. Like, yep, I survived that. I survived COVID. I survived cancer. I survived a lot of things that have been thrown my way. I do not give up. I do not back down. And I think most people know that now. I don't piss around with liars and people who are, just they like to lie to people and make shit up and start trouble. They engage in sophistry, and I'm not someone who is interested in someone who's going to be a liar. And most of the people who conjure up these lies, I'm glad that they remove themselves, because I don't need people like that in my life anyway. They're toxic. I don't know what I think the internet has really, like social media in particular, has really magnified the hatred in the world, because you can have your anonymity all the time and you can say whatever mean, hurtful things you want about somebody, and you have just as many gullible people believing everything they're told, when in fact it's just talk, and talk is cheap. You have to oh, my dad's phone's ringing. You have to, it has to be more than just you saying so. You got to be able to provide evidence. You have to show some kind of proof. 1 second, guys. Hey, Amy, you're trying to call Dad when I'm doing my Sunday video update. He'll be in a minute. But anyway, you got to have more than, it's got to be more than just, well, because everybody's saying it. Well, you got to have some kind of proof. Amy just tried calling your phone. She should know. But then again, she doesn't know. She thinks she might have your phone with you. How is she gonna know that you put the phone on the coffee table? She ain't gonna know. But yeah, that's I don't like liars, people who are going to make things up about someone just because they don't like them. I always say their actions are going to speak louder than their words. let it bleed out. I don't have to I don't have to say anything about anybody. I let people show other people their true colors.
All right.
Okay.
All right, bye.
I think she said love you. Thanks, Amy. What now? What's going on? Yeah. Go figure. But just to bring it home, I don't like liars. And I know Dad don't like liars either. But I will say there's a difference between lying and bending the truth, I guess, a little bit. Like if bending the truth means that you're going to save a life, like in real danger, like a life or death situation, bending the truth to make something, I guess there are some exceptions, but to straight up lie just because you don't like somebody and say that they're perverts and they're this and they're that and they're horrible, go fuck yourself. Yeah, and they're lying to people that you talk to, and they say, well, he's a pervert, and you know what? Shut the fuck up. Because there is such a thing called a court of law, and that's why I always say show some evidence, show some proof, and it cannot be subjective. It's got to be objective truth. And if you don't understand the difference between subjective and objective, which I'm only assuming that these people don't understand, that's why they think they can get away with the shit. If you don't understand the difference, then maybe you should just shut the fuck up anyway. Because subjective truth is just, actually, there is no such thing as subjective truth. Let me take that back. Let me back up a little bit. It's subjective opinion and objective truth. Your subjective opinion is not objective truth, and you're trying to make your subjective opinion on the objective truth, on a foundation of objective truth, and it just doesn't work that way. And if I take you into court and sue the fuck out of you for slander, then there's going to be some, you're going to have to be able to demonstrate to a judge how I'm being a pervert or whatever you describe me as. And if you don't have objective truth, just objective opinion, the judge is just going to throw it out. Say, well, please, And anyway, I think it's more along the lines I look for objective truth because that is the tell all of everything. Because if we base decisions on subjective opinion, then we can never have honest conversations about anything. And that's a truth. That's the truth. If you're just going to go off based on your feelings, then when something is really and truly happening, we're never going to know how to react to that because we're just going to go by what we feel as opposed to what's actually true. And, I'm not the kind of person who gives off those vibes anyway. I don't give any kind of vibe that I'm being perverted or anything like that. I'm a very kind, loving, caring individual. And I tell my friends all the time that I love you guys and I hope you're doing well. And I just want you to be happy. And if I can invite some happiness and sunshine into your life, then so be it. I'm always happy to be that guy. I'm not perfect. I'm not the King Poobah of anything, but I am a friend who is always looking out for everybody else.
Besides that, ain't our government lying enough to us?
Yeah, let's not get into the government. We don't care about the government. That's not what this is about. It's about people in general. I've been, well, we say cocksucker, but I have been, it's no, well, yeah, but okay, but anyway, moving on. There are people, I'm talking about the people who are, they lie. They lie. And it's, and this is what gets me too. And I've said this before many times. This is what gets me. We are well known around our community, around Chesaning. Everybody knows who we are. They know better. We're not putting on a show.
They know us, they know the Perkins, and everybody.
Yeah, they know my family. They know us. And you're not fooling anybody, and we're very well known and well respected. We're not figureheads of Chesaning, but we are familiar faces. And we don't cause problems. We go uptown, we take care of our business, we come home. But we do know lots of people from Chesaning. We have friends in Chesaning. Yeah, I mean, lots of people know me. As I said earlier, we were at Dollar General, and a young man named Alex, a little kid named Alex, came up. He says, "Hey, I know you." I said, "Well, come here." And he was with his grandma, and he shook my hand. I kind of gave him a hug. I said, "How you doing, buddy?" And I'm doing good. And then he ran back. "Well, it's good seeing you again, Alex. Take care, buddy." And that was it. And Dad was with me.
Just like that little boy down the road, Brian's son.
Oh yeah.
Cool little dude.
Yep, Aiden. Yep. So there's we're well known with everybody. We were talking with the neighbors down the road before
He's a
we.
little biker.
Oh yeah, he loves his dirt bike, and
Man,
yeah.
he
and he can fly too. That kid is something else.
lies. He races.
But we see, we're well known by lots of people, and when someone comes at especially one of my friends, when one of these liars and trolls comes to one of my friends and saying, "Well, I heard this about you." Well, good for you. You can hear whatever the fuck you want. You might also hear that I pick my nose and eat it. Do they tell you that? Do they tell you that too? Are you liable to believe that too? Which, for the record, I don't pick my nose and eat it. Yeah, unless you've got some evidence, or you catch me when I don't think anybody's looking. I'm just kind of pointing to my brain and then but that's what I'm talking about. If you don't have any reason to believe that, why the fuck are you believing it? Don't know, man. Don't know. And then they always argue, well, why would they say this? Well, I don't know. Why don't you ask them why they're saying it? If they can't provide evidence of what they're actually saying, then that is a good question. Why are they saying it? Duh. Duh, right? What's that?
1 minute.
Oh, we're down to the last minute? We're already down to the last minute of the Sunday video? Yeah, we are. Well, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining because I was running out of things to say, and then I actually finally found something to talk about. But that's fine because We got other things we got to do. I thank you so much for tuning in this week to the Sunday Video Update. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jerry Bear. This is my dad.
Bye. Have a nice day.
And we had a fantastic week last week, and we're hoping that this week will be just as good, if not better. And we hope you do the same. Much love. Have an awesome week. Don't lie about people and things. It's not cool. Be honest, be straight, and take care of one another. And look out for one another. Help each other. Anything else you want to say, Dad?
That's it.
That's it? Okay, that's it. Later.